So in this video, we're going to take a look at how do you combine polynomials, okay? So now a polynomial is basically an expression which has different powers of an unknown term. So let's take, for example, 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. So that is an example of a polynomial. Why? Because you see you have an x square out here, you have an x out here, and then you have basically no x, right? So you have different powers of an unknown term. Now, if you only had, since you have three terms out here, technically this would be a trinomial. And then let's say you have something like this, 2x plus 5, then that would be, because there are two terms, that would be a binomial. And then if you had something like just like maybe 2x, that would be a monomial. Okay, if you just had 5 without the variable, that would still be a monomial. Okay, so so you want to think of polynomials as just different types of terms. Okay, now here's the key to this. The key is you don't want to, or rather you cannot combine the 3 and the 2 and the 5. You cannot add the 3, the 2, the 5. Why? Because they're connected to different variables. Why different? Because this is an x squared, that's an x, and then 5 has nothing beside it. So you have to treat, you can only combine the 3x squared with another term that has an x squared in it. You can only combine the 2x with another term that has an x in it, okay? And you can only combine the 5 with something else that has basically no x's in it, okay? So that's the thing to remember, okay? You can only combine like terms, okay? So let's take an example and show you how this kind of plays out. So let's say your instructions are simplify and combine like terms. Okay, so those are instructions. So let's say you're given 4r squared minus 3r plus 10r plus 12r squared. Okay, so straight off the bat, you can see there's an r square out here and an r square out here. That means you can combine those two. So I'm going to, the way I combine them, I'm just going to add the 4 and the 12. That's going to give me 16. And I'm just going to place the r square beside the 16. Okay. And then I'm going to apply the same logic to the negative 3r and the positive 10r. Since both of them have r's, okay, I'm going to just take negative 3 and positive 10. Okay, so 10 is larger than 3, and the signs are different. So 10 minus 3 gives me 7. I'm going to stick with the sign of the larger term. So that's positive 7. And then since both of them have the r at the back, I'm going to put an r out there. And there you have it. That is how I simplified and combined that expression. Let's take a look at another one. So this time I have negative 8. And now in parentheses, I have 5k minus 6 plus 3. In parentheses, I have 7k plus 2. Okay, so before I can even start to combine things, I have to distribute, meaning I have to pull these terms out of parentheses. But I can only pull these two out of parentheses by distributing the negative 8 with the 5k and the negative 6. And I have to do the same thing with the positive 3 and the 7k and the positive 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and distribute the negative 8 over the 5k and the negative 6 first. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the negative 8 and the 5k. Well, there's look at what's to the left of the 5k. There's no sign, which means it's a positive. So negative times positive is going to be a negative. And then 8 times 5 is going to give me a 40. And then I'm just going to put the k down. Then I'm going to do something similar with the negative 6. Negative times negative, same sign. Therefore, it becomes positive. And then 8 times 6 is going to give me a 48. Okay. Now, excuse me. I'm going to positive times positive gives me positive, and then 3 times 7 gives me 21. Okay, positive times positive is another positive, and then 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. Okay, so at this point in time, I should notice that I can combine these two because they have the same variable attached to them, and I like to call them last names. They have the same last name, so negative 40 plus 21 gives me negative 19. Okay, and then I'm going to combine the 48 and the 6, which is going to give me 54, positive 54. Okay, okay. As usual, feel free to pause the video and try to work these problems by yourself, and then kind of take a look at uh, the way we've been working these problems. All right. Okay, let's do another one. So let's say you're given 2s minus, you have minus 3s plus 6. All right, so now in this problem, you actually have a negative sign outside, right? So whenever you have a negative sign outside, well, the logic is still the same. You multiply the negative with the negative, and then you multiply the, and then you're trying to pull out the 3s. And the way you pull it out is, it's important to understand that really that is sitting to the right of the negative sign is a 1, okay? So when you're multiplying these, you're multiplying the negatives, which is going to give you a positive, and then you multiply the 1 with the 3s, okay? So if I play that out, that's going to make me a positive, because negative times negative is positive, and then 1 times 3 is 3, and then there's the s. I'm going to do the same thing with the positive 6. Negative times positive gives me a negative, and then 1 times 6 is going to give me a 6. Okay, at this point in time, as you can see, the 2s and the 3s have the same last name, so I'm going to combine them. So that's going to give me 5s minus 6, and there you have it. Okay, let's do one more. So let's say you're given negative 4p plus p cubed minus p squared plus 8p plus 2. Okay, so now we have quite a few different terms out here. You have a p term. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the p terms. There we go. And then we don't have anything to match the p cube, but we have a p cube, we have a p square, and then we have something with no p. So the only terms that we can really combine is the negative 4p and the positive 8p. So when we combine them, 8 minus 4 is going to give me 4p. Okay, and then I'm going to just write out everything else as is. Now, one thing to remember is just customary when you're doing when you're dealing with a polynomial, is you always want to start by writing the term that is highest, that has the highest power. So there you go. Then the lowest, and then you keep going till the lowest power. Okay, so still go from highest to lowest. So I'm just going to go ahead and rearrange these terms so I have p cubed minus p squared plus 4p plus 2. Okay, and that's pretty much what you need to know for combining polynomials. Thank you for watching.